Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to today's training, which is really Marshall's Minute. This is where I'm going to share a bit about what I've been discovering with myself this last week since we had this last Friday. My own journey beyond codependency gives you guys a point of view that you can anticipate what it's like to live without codependency, what it's like to face the challenges in life. They're really big ones, like, doing things you want to do, accomplishing goals that really matter. Hi, David. And being a part of life in a direct and deliberate engagement. And this week, it's been a really deep dive into the idea of, am I safe to express my unwanted side? Am I bad for being me? These were big central messages that I received growing up, is that there are parts of me that are unwanted, that they are shameful, that they are disgusting, they are inappropriate, and they should be done away with. Now, I grew up in a highly conservative religious system, and my parents bought into the system as truth on a very deep level, and so their points of view about normal and natural human behavior and the human experience were highly warped by the system. And I absorbed that. I believed that. I took it as a truth. And so I quickly discovered that my own reality, who I am, was in opposition to these claims about truth and what was good, bad, good and evil, wrong, right, that kind of thing. And so I started to realize or come up with a natural conclusion based on this false information that there's an unwanted side of me and that I'm actually bad for being me, because being me created conflict. It created questions that people didn't like. It created points of view that contradicted these supposed eternal truths. And it really put me in opposition to my entire culture, and to my parents, and to my sense of existence. And now, as I grow as a business leader, as a leader to you guys, as I move outside of the bounds of being invisible and becoming more seen, more exposed, more revealed, this is coming up pretty strong, because it's like, hey man, what if you make a mistake like you did when you were a kid or when you were a teenager a few years ago or something? What if that happens? What's going to happen to us? Because that means we're bad, we're flawed. And I'm like, why not be bad then? Why not be flawed? Why not embrace it? Because that's part of our reality. What if this badness that I've internalized really isn't bad at all? What if it's actually good? What if it actually belongs, and that people's rejection of these aspects of me are their own shame showing up? What if, by bringing love into my own space about these parts of myself, I bring love and encourage for others to do the same, right? This is the work beyond codependency, is to be ourselves, guys. And it's not to be this idealized self, because we have this fantasy of what we should be, right? No, it's to be what we are when we show up in life. And this week, I showed up with courage, I showed up with boldness, I showed up with bluntness, because my personality has a very blunt edge to it. And I was also scared. And I had tension in my chest, I had a sense of being frozen. And I've allowed that to thaw and to be connected to, because in that frozen space within me as a little boy that felt completely abandoned by his parents. And so I brought in new parents, healthy parents, that are nurturing him and helping him warm up. And now he's realizing, like, hey, I'm okay to be angry. I'm okay to be boring. I'm okay not to do it the way other people's do it, whatever it is. Usually it's like, for instance, how I run my business. It was very interesting on Wednesday specifically. I had this aha moment that goes, I just want freedom to run my business my way. I don't want to run it their way. I don't want to do it their way. I want to run it my way. And it was enlightening, because it's like, I like to have fun. I like to be serious. I like you guys to have success. I like to make some money. I also enjoy just creating it for the hell of it, because it's fun to me. I like that. And so that's where my freedom is. My freedom is in creating systems that work, tools that work, things that make an impact on you guys, makes an impact on me. That's my freedom. That's how I want to run my business. I want it to grow. I want it to have an impact, but I want to do it my way. A lot of times in codependency, especially, we're living based on this notion that we should do it a certain way. There is the perfect way. There's the right way. And in reality, there isn't. There are effective ways, and then there are ineffective ways. But that doesn't mean right and wrong, and that doesn't mean that we must conform to the formula. What we need to do is actually understand what's behind that formula and adopt that technology, that approach, to our expression. So it's a lot like dance. Dance has certain rules, certain elements to it that make it effective. But that doesn't mean you have to do that particular dance over and over and over in order to be effective. What it means is, now that I've mastered this principle of dance, I can adapt it to my own expression of the principle. This is what it's like to live beyond codependency, because we're living beyond the fantasy. And we're connecting back to our brilliance and then the expression of that brilliance. That's where we're going, guys. Where we can take a particular principle and then express it in our way. Because this is what connects us to other people through that heart-to-heart experience. Because when you're out of codependency, you're no longer in that transactional relationship where you're earning approval, you're earning some sort of love, you're proving yourself or something. You're moving into a connective experience that loves and adores you. And so that means sharing your expression. Like Codependence to Confidence, Get Closure Now, our group here, our community. These are expressions of my desire coming out. These are expressions of my creativity and my brilliance. The ring you sent me, David, that is an expression of your brilliance and your creativity, and I love it. I've been wearing it. I took it off because I had to wash my hands, but it was really, I love that ring. Guys, when we really tap into our expression of principle, then we make some magic happen, both for ourselves and for others, because it always adds to us. It's accumulative. That's the magic here. So fundamentally, to answer my questions, I'm not bad for being me. I'm good. You're good for being you. You're safe to express your unwanted side. I'm safe to express it too. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have rough times. We're going to be jealous. We're going to be possessive. We're going to be upset. We're going to be bored. We're going to be negative. We're going to be happy. We're going to be neutral. We're going to be passionate. We're going to be unpassionate. These are all important aspects or expressions of our brilliance and of our value. So there's nothing wrong with you. There's no desire that's intrinsically bad. How we get our needs met matters, but what we desire matters too. See, so if you have a particular desire that you've made taboo or wrong for you, like for instance, I kind of have a feeling of tabooness around making money doing what I do. That's kind of taboo. Oh, you're helping people. It's really selfish to charge people, that kind of thing. And I hear this a lot from people in my when they reply to ads and stuff. They're like, why do you charge? So there's a real taboo on this one. And now it's like, well, is that actually taboo? Is that wrong? Does that make me bad? Or is that actually a boundary? Huh? Is it a self-respect to me? Is it a respect to them? Is it an invitation for a consensual connection? Right? So I've been shifting my point of view on that, my mindset around that. And it's enlightening because it really honors the personal autonomy we have, the individuality that we bring to the table, that we can own our expression because it is ours, and we can share it on terms that work for us. You know, so sometimes I give away what I do for free. Sometimes I charge for it. Sometimes I charge a lot. Sometimes I charge a little. So what? You have a right to do the same too. You have a right to earn money and put it where you want it to go. You have a right to give where you want to give, when you want to give freely. see, this is part of that expression. There isn't an unwanted side in this. It's really about going, this is good. It's okay to be this. And for instance, we get back into the money thing. I would like to make money in doing what I do. Now, how do I do that in a way that's congruent with my desire for freedom and for connection and for consent? And so now I figured that out, and I'm growing the business, so I have a bigger impact. So we, grow the business and make bigger impacts. Round and round it goes. It's all about how we get our need or our want met more than it is about what we want. And when we start seeing our want as good, then it illuminates the good options. If we see it as bad, then we're going to shame it. We might come up with bad options that actually harm us and others. So when you encounter a part of yourself that feels unwanted, it feels shameful, it feels like it shouldn't be there, it's bad, or that you feel like you're bad for being you, it's time to slow down and look at the real need behind that, and then start questioning the programming you've received, and start doing some experiments to actually discover the reality of it, that it is good to be you. You're not out there harming people deliberately. There are people that do that, sociopaths, psychopaths, things like that. But generally, 99% of us, we're not out there doing this. We're out there, we just want to love, and we want to be loved, right? Connection. And that's the magic of this. We can accomplish that by honoring our goodness and by abandoning our agreement with shame and really taking ownership of, hey, I am good, and my wants and my needs are good. Now I can develop skills and ways to meet those needs and wants in ways that are also good, that add to the joy of everybody involved. That's the magic that I've been discovering over this last week and getting in contact with these parts of myself and giving myself permission to be them. So as you guys journey forward in your codependency and you liberate from it, then you stop agreeing with this, you stop agreeing with the shamefulness, you stop agreeing with the limitation, you stop needing other people's approval, and you start anchoring in your own. You start trusting you. Trust your value. Trust your goodness. Trust that you belong. Okay? So that's my minute for this week. You guys have a great weekend, and remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Guys, have a good day.